The 7 levels of Pokemon fans. Explained. Level 1, the Pokemon Go Grandma. This is the most casual form of Pokemon fan. They're so casual they are one Freudian slip away from still calling them Pokemon in the big 2025. I call them the Go Grandma because it is sadly true. The average age in my local raid group is probably 65, and that's with me bringing down the average a good 3 years. People wonder how Pokemon Go is still alive all these years later. It's because of old retired white women who play Pokemon Go to get their daily exercise in. People like you and me, we move on from fads. Silly bands, Justin Bieber, I know I'm showing my age here. Not boomers. They will continue to do the same things for their entire lives because they think it's cool. I'm sorry, Mom. I really hope you're not watching this video. But if you are, I am proud of your shiny Aerodactyl. That was a really cool catch. You know, maybe it's disingenuous to put these people at only level 1, because at this point, they know all the ins and outs of the game. They have literally dedicated the last decade of their life to this game, despite Niantic's best efforts to kill it. I may note that a timid nature raises speed, but they know the math behind how a curveball and an excellent throw increases your catch chance. They probably know as much about IVs as your average showdown player. But at the same time, if I told them that held items existed, their brains would probably explode all over the pavement. So yeah, maybe level 1 is fitting. Level 2, generic Gerald. These guys are the uncustomized me's of the Pokemon fandom. The people who order their burgers with ketchup and cheese only. This one has less to do with how many games they've played, and more to do with the fact that they have the most generic Pokemon opinions imaginable. Oh, your favorite Pokemon is Charizard, but Greninja and Lucario are close runner-ups? Oh, and Evolution daring today, aren't we? When your Discord server full of friends puts together their favorite Pokemon from every generation list, these are the people whose lists make your eyes glaze over with boredom. There is not a single modicum of thought found here. And don't even get me started when it comes to the which Pokemon game is the best conversation. These people do not have critical thinking skills. Their favorite game is the first one they played when they were 5 years old. It could be Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, which immediately means there's no saving them. And if there's one game they hate, it's Black and White, because Tentacool wasn't in it. More than likely, this is the friend who told you the story about the purple mudkip they had as a kid, and they reset the game because they thought it was sick, even though that's just a mildly funny tweet that they saw once in their lifetime. It does not matter how many Pokemon games these people play, their opinions are never shifting off the same 7 predetermined lines of dialogue that they've been using for the last 20 years of their life. Level 3, the Gen 1er. Speaking of people who haven't changed their opinions in 20 plus years, the Gen 1ers are this, but taken to an extreme degree of toxicity. Admittedly, they aren't the social plague they used to be on the internet back in the early to mid 2010s. But every so often, they come out of the shadows just to make your day a little worse. Recently, I would say they've shifted more to the types of Pokemon fans who have just perpetually complained about everything since Sword and Shield announced that you couldn't bring Pidgeotto into Galar. Your favorite gen doesn't have to be Gen 1 for you to act like a Gen 1er. They can't help it, even though they absolutely hate everything about modern day Pokemon, they keep consuming media about it. They're probably watching this video right now. They might even be you! Hello there, nobody likes you. Just wanted to make that very clear. They can't merely accept the fact that they've outgrown Pokemon and they need to move on to other media. They would rather just sit around waiting for Game Freak to make this 100-hour-long Breath of the Wild-esque masterpiece with Dark Souls level difficulty, which is going to happen approximately never. And who am I kidding? Even if they did make that, they'd still find something wrong with it. Like how none of the Pokemon designs are nearly as inspired as the classics like Execute. The only positive to the Gen 1er is that they are old, which means they're going to die. Hopefully soon. It is worth noting that the Gen 1er has an evil variant, though. Even though Gen 1ers are already evil. Well, evil is an opposite in this case. The Bootlicker Billies. Bootlicker Billy is a Pokemon shill to his core, disturbingly so. They're the ones who maxed out the time on their Pokemon Fire Red save file, collecting every single Pokemon, they've collected every card, they watched every episode as a kid, and these people will adamantly defend Game Freak to the death. They are the opposite of the Gen 1er in the sense that their standards are in the basement. Game Freak could take everything away from them except an 8-bit sprite of Pikachu in the next game, and they would give it a standing ovation in their Pokemon-themed man-child cave. And it would still cost $70. The reason I put these two in the same level is because they are the two evolutions of the childhood Pokemon addict. One evolved during the day and the other evolved at night, but both are insufferable and need to just play some other games. Level 4, the Merch Goblin. This is where we start getting into real fanatic territory. These people wake up in the morning with the goal of being the first one in line for the Pokemon Center queue. If they don't get their Pokemon-themed Crocs this Christmas, they may as well chop their feet off, because who wants to be seen wearing Nikes? Now, admittedly, some of these people are the most chill people in the fandom. Sometimes they take the form of a guy with a Mudkip plushie in the back of their car, and you just think, that is a cool guy right there. Probably because they're in the car and you don't have to talk to them, though. Or maybe they just like wearing Ash Ketchum's hat in public because it gets them some social brownie points from random strangers who also like Pokemon. Yeah, their entire apartment might look like a miniature Pokemon Center behind closed doors, but out in public, these people are civil enough. But similar to the previous level of Pokemon fan, they too have a nighttime lack of friendship evolution that turns them into a POS. Person of Scalping. The Scalper is the merch goblin's most evil form, because they will turn even the most mundane of Pokemon items into rare collectibles they will sit on for 20 years just to make a $15 profit. Elite trainer boxes, exclusive pins, freaking shiny Koraidon and Miraidon codes from GameStop. Oh, this limited time item that literally has no monetary value? You put it on eBay? Wow, dude, that is so cash money of you. Just awesome stuff. They will literally stop at nothing to ruin a small child's day for the sake of a few bucks. These people are the reason why you have to take boxing classes just to go to Costco and even dream of getting Pokemon cards. Level 4.5, the person who watches this far into the video but doesn't like and subscribe. You definitely don't want to be in that category. Level 5, the Chronic Shiny Hunter. If you know one of these people, odds are you only know them from Twitter. Because these people don't leave their homes. If they do, they're pulling up to their local bar with a Game Boy Advance and Pokemon Emerald in hand so they can continue soft resetting for some differently colored pixels. They have an addiction to doing nothing. It may be the strangest hobby of all time. They may not be outright harming society like scalpers, but they darn sure aren't contributing to it. Regardless, this is the type of Pokemon fan that is literally only ever playing Pokemon. They have no time or bandwidth for other games because they are literally addicted to the small burst of serotonin their brains get when a sparkly Pokemon shows up. They most definitely think about that one meme of the miner turning around right before they reach the stack of diamonds at least 100 times a day. That image has done irreversible damage to their psyche. But you know what? Part of it is admirable. There's a real dedication to the craft here. Doing the same task over and over because gosh dang it, those little sparkles have meaning to you. Go girl, give us nothing! Level 6, the Wolfe Glick Groupie. Like many of the other levels, this one is also a spectrum. It ranges from, hey man, did you see the new Wolfe Glick video this week? To the guy who is chronically into VGC because Wolf's annual Worlds video is their equivalent of an MCU movie. Probably better compared to most of the recent ones, if I'm being real. Now yes, eventually some of these people will become world champions. A very small percentage, but some. The rest of them are going to flush a lot of money down the toilet hopping from tournament to tournament trying to win with Eviolite Bayleaf. I'm sorry man, I know you have that Karen quote on your lock screen about how truly skilled trainers win with their favorites, but that's just not reality. Calyrex Shadow Rider exists. You wake up every morning and watch that oddly good Wolfe Glick fan cam video for inspiration, but I hate to break it to you man, you're not him. Inevitably, some of these people will branch off to make their own regional form, known as the Showdown Malder. People who type K exclamation point double hockey stick yourself in the chat when you hit a zap cannon for the lulz. If you've ever surpassed 1400 ELO, almost every single match on the ladder will be against one of these people. These people wake up in the middle of the night thinking about Scald's 30% burn chance and not their 0% chance of getting a job. You're worried about the wrong odds, my guy. Level 7, IRL Professor Oak. This one is exactly the way it sounds. This guy has the all-encompassing knowledge that only a Pokemon professor from the game should have. Except this person is real, and they know more about fictional animals than real-life ones. Sometimes they might drop a mildly interesting fact here or there, but most of the time they're like, alright, time to brutally kill the vibe of this party with some Game Freak Beta Leaks trivia. They also definitely have poured way too much time into these deep Pokemon theories that are basically just headcanon to them now. And yes, they will share them, even if you don't ask. If this person committed a fraction of the time studying to become a plumber as they did studying random obscure Pokemon facts and trivia, they would be the richest person in their neighborhood. Instead, they probably took a much worse path, wasting away their young adult lives with 47 Bulbapedia tabs open at 3 a.m. trying to put together a script for a YouTube video because they think that all this random knowledge needs to be shared with the world. What are you looking at me for? If your friends are on any of these 7 levels, then be sure to share this video with them. I'm sure they'll get a kick out of it. And if they deny it, then they're liars. Be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.